Rise and shine.
I'm offered a lot of free time through my job, and even though I enjoy my free time, sometimes too much free time can be bad for my mental health. Especially during the holidays, where there are a few select days that are filled with joy and celebration, and the regular do-nothing days in the middle, that can be hard for the body to process. And even though I love my free time, too much free time can be hard for my mental health. I found that just like my kid students, my adult brain craves routine. And when that routine is interrupted, it creates a sense of anxiety and even depression. I love spending time with my friends, and I love the energy that they bring to the table. But my friends have one major flaw when it comes to their schedules. They have jobs. Even though my job gives me time off days and weeks at a time, theirs do not. So I have to make time to hang out with myself. I love spending time with myself, but not just myself. Sometimes I just want to be entertained without the feeling of the need to spend money. I want to challenge myself to find a routine outside of my everyday work week. But for now, I'm back at my desk and I'm back in my classroom. So here's a glimpse of what my regular routines look like.
I go back to work in 2 days, and while it has been nice to be at home for the last 2 weeks, something about having a routine every single day, it's nice. So let's get back into that routine, shall we?
Teachers have this term called the Sunday Scaries, where Sunday nights seem to be anxiety-ridden because you're planning out your stuff for all of the following week. I am not going to plan a full week of school in one night before I have to do it. So instead, I'm just going to be planning tomorrow's classes, and I'm going to work from there. I have a prep period tomorrow, so I will have the opportunity to get things done at work. One of the first things that I want to do is have just a little presentation slide of what the agenda for that class period is going to be, because one, I think that'll help me organize my lesson plans to potentially recycle them for the following year, but also I think it just helps students have an idea of what they're going to be doing in the class that day. And while I work on that, I got a little bit of Life of Breeze playing in the back because she's been one of my favorite people to watch in the last couple of weeks. One idea that I came up for the new semester that I really want to give a shot is just having a different literary device for each day that students walk into my classroom. I came into work a little bit earlier today than I usually do, and that is because my desks are not arranged in the way that I like them to be set up. So we're going to do that right now. And then also, I just have a lot of stuff in the classroom that I want to get taken care of before the students show up. And honestly, I just need a little bit of a minute to, adjust to being back into the rhythm of work before I jump right into it. So might as well be here. The drive here was terrifying, by the way. It is dark outside. There aren't that many streetlights on the highway going this direction. And it was raining, and I have an astigmatism. So it was already hard to see. And then people were just driving real bad. This guy merged to the lane that I was in on the highway. I'm going maybe 55, which is still, reasonably fast for a rainy day on the highway. And he's going maybe 35. And he merges, I say he, I should say they, I don't know who they were, but they merged right in front of me. And they are going 20 miles slower than I am, and I almost rear-ended them. And what sucks is that would have been my fault, right? So thankfully, nothing happened. There was no collision, but great way to start the morning. I've been in my classroom for less than 30 minutes, and I already have to use the bathroom. Coffee just goes right through me, just the smell of it. Okay, we're officially done with day one, and honestly, this was one of the best first days of school that I have ever had. I don't know. Maybe it was just because I was actually prepared this time around, and I found a way to fill the whole class time with something that was actually, kind of fun, kind of relevant. It carried over, and I'm hoping that carries over the rest of the week, because this next week is going to get hard. We are going to teach one of my favorite things, and that is argumentative writing. And any kind of writing is a pain in the butt to teach, but we love to do it. I have a TikTok account where I just show off the different outfits that I wear throughout my days at work. So here's a little preview of what that looks like. Pretty much, I go up here, I share what I'm wearing. Today it's a little turtleneck, black turtleneck that I bought for my pops as a Christmas gift that I actually ended up stealing from him. Some khakis that I found at Goodwill for like $4, and some Doc's loafers with the tassels.
Simple, right? And that's pretty much all I do on my TikTok. But people seem to eat it up, so I keep doing it.
When I was a college student, I never got the chance to have a regular routine. My freshman year, I was working a job over at In-N-Out Burger, and I would start my shift at 8:30 a.m. and finish my shift at 2:30 p.m. I would peel potatoes, make some fries, serve them up, and then at the end of my 6-hour shift, I'd change back into my civilian clothes and head to class. My first class started at 3 p.m. and that was after a 20-minute drive from my job location to campus. And because I didn't want to pay for a parking pass because I was already paying for tuition and everything else that a college student had to pay for, I parked my car at the Circus Casino and walked down to the university myself. The sweat from the August and September heat made the walk from the casino parking lot to campus unbearable and is the main reason that I carry deodorant with me at all times these days. That and the fact that I smelled like potatoes and burgers all day long. After my music appreciation class, I would have about a 3-hour block in between classes. I would go fill myself up with some dinner and then watch a live episode of AEW Dynamite. Once the episode was wrapping up, I would start walking my way over to my English 202 class, which was on the opposite end of campus. After getting back in my car and driving home, I'd end up in bed at about 11 p.m. and all I could think about from then on till the time I woke up was about my 9 a.m. class that following morning. My college schedule would get simpler as I accumulated more credits, but it never got more convenient. Needless to say, my sleep schedule and routine were never consistent. So now here I am. The hardest part about adjusting to being an adult was honestly getting out of bed every morning. I'd gotten so accustomed throughout college and throughout high school to working those late shifts that bled into the early morning and not going to sleep until 3, 4 a.m. because that's the time that I would get off of work. I felt nocturnal because I practically was. And at first I didn't mind. I was 18, 19, 20 years old and I could work those late nights and not have it be that big of a deal and just have Friday and Saturday off to spend some time with some friends. As I got closer to graduation though, I knew that the day shift is what I wanted, what I needed. I felt like the day shift people had the easier shifts and the night shift would get the butt end of the stick. Is that a phrase? I honestly don't know if I just made that up. If I did, I'm coining it. If not, wonderful. Pull that out of nowhere. I had gone from not getting home until 4 in the morning to all of a sudden I have to be at work before 8 in the morning. And it was a big shift. So I remember when I first got into the routine of being at work at 8 in the morning, I was on energy drinks every single day. I joked with my students today that one of the things that I need to leave behind in 2024 is energy drinks because I want to go into 30 with a full head of hair. I know there's no correlation, but I'm going to pretend that there is. My biggest routine killer that became part of my regular routine was taking a nap after work. And this made me miserable for a long time. Once daylight savings fell back, the night became longer and the days became shorter, and I found that I would get home from work, take a nap, and that nap was maybe no more than an hour to 90 minutes, and I'd find that I had wasted my entire daylight with my eyes closed. And a lack of vitamin D is really bad for the body, slight bars. But it killed me, and I found that all of a sudden, this routine that I was craving since I was a young adult in college trying to make ends meet, this routine that I had wanted for so long, was making me miserable. Why did I hate repeating the same things over and over again? That's because you gotta enjoy your routine, and you gotta make the most of your day. And I'm sorry to say it, sometimes a nap just isn't the best use of your time. So I forced myself to stop taking naps, and that did two things for me. One, it gave me more time in the day to either go to the gym, or hang out with friends, or just eat dinner and watch TV with the sun still being out, or even going outside. The second thing that it did for me is it made me tired at the end of the day, and I had craved that for so long because I found myself staying up till 1 a.m., 2 in the morning, and then having to go to work a few hours later. It's just not sustainable. So I found myself getting tired around 10 p.m. and falling asleep at 11 p.m. And this worked wonders for me because this finally got me into a routine that I enjoyed. And while my routine might not be the most exciting thing in the world, it's something that I've worked hard for. It's something that I've worked to maintain, and it's something that I like to keep. That being said, sometimes a good disruption to the routine is good for you. Because even though you may like your routine, shout out Montag from Fahrenheit 451, I understand why he was so upset when Clarice interrupted his routine. Sometimes you just have to get out of that comfort zone. You know what I'm talking about. So enjoy your routine and find your routine. But don't get lost in that routine. You are human after all. Banger.